Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to check today's video out. Got a little bit of a different type of video today. I want to address yesterday something that was said about me on Dave Mercer's podcast. Dave had Byron Velvick on there, and Byron basically called me a hole jumper in this particular episode about an event that happened years ago. And there's always two sides to the story, so I want to share my side of the story with the guys. And the only reason that I'm addressing this is because I didn't even know that they were doing this podcast, and I started getting yesterday a ton of comments on my videos and private messages about people calling me a hole jumper, and I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So I tuned into Dave Mercer's to listen to this segment on Byron talking about this incident that happened. Now, first of all, it took me a long time to even remember it, because this is something that happened 35 years ago, guys. So, you know, I'm listening to Byron talking about this, and I'm like, God dang, I don't remember any of that. It's like, and I'm racking my memory to try to figure out what happened in this particular incident, because again, it was 35 years ago. I was in my 20s when this happened. So and after thinking about it and trying to remember, let me tell you the situation from my side of the story. Now, first of all, guys, I love Byron Velvick. Byron Velvick is one of my favorite people. I've been friends with the guy forever. I think a ton of him. I still do, even after this video, even after him saying this video, I still love Byron. He's great, man. He's super funny. You know, I love his energy. He's an incredible angler, one of the most underrated anglers in our sport. So I don't have a bad word to say about Byron, even after this. I really like Byron a lot. And we've never had any problems. Even in this situation here, we've never had any problems with each other. So here's what happened. This was the 1990 or 1991 Bassmaster Invitational on the Harris chain. Record low weight. It was like super tough. I think 14 pounds for 3 days won the tournament. Something like over half the field didn't even catch one single 12-inch keeper for 3 days. It was brutal. And anyway, Byron had looked on the map, and he saw this lake back there. It's called Trout Lake. It's a lake that's off of the Harris chain, and it was connected by a canal. So I guess he went back in there, and he walked back in there. He didn't get his boat in there, and he made some casts, and he caught some fish. So he was trying to figure out how to get back in this canal. So he's telling the story about it, and he came in after the first day of the tournament, after the first day of practice or something, I can't remember, and he asked me my advice about how to get into this place, and he's talking about it, and I was telling him what, you know, my suggestion was. So anyway, first day of the tournament, he cut some logs to get in there, or some pilings or something. But anyway, the first day of the tournament, you know, he tries to get in there and he can't get in there. So second day of the tournament, he tries to get in there and can't get in there. He just can't get in there with his boat. So I draw that afternoon of the second, and Byron had talked to me about this, and I'd talked to my partner for the last day of the tournament was Roland Martin. And at this point, I didn't think, and again, my memory's foggy on this type of stuff, so I'm trying to recall it as best I can. But anyway, Roland came, you know, I drew Roland Martin in this tournament, and Byron had tried to get in this place for 2 days and couldn't get in there. So I just assumed he can't get in this place. So it's like, why not try to get in there if Roland Martin has a way to get in there? Roland just happened to be able to get an aluminum boat. He's all excited about it, you know, trying to get back in this place. So Roland finds us an aluminum boat, you know, for us to try to get back in there that night. And still at this point, as far as I know, Byron, there's no way he can get in there. So nobody's going to fish this lake. And at the time, I didn't know that Byron was trying to find an aluminum boat to get in there. So anyway, Roland got the boat and everything, and you know, we head out over there to get in this lake the last day. And you got to remember, Byron hasn't even fished in there in the tournament. This is not one of Byron's spots. This is an entire lake. It's not like it's a spot he's been fishing, and we're going to go to the spot he's been fishing. And I didn't say anything to anybody other than my partner for that day, Roland Martin. So anyway, Byron was able to get an aluminum boat that last day of the tournament. And so we had two of us that were going to get in there. I didn't know he could get an aluminum boat. And apparently Byron was saying in the Dave Mercer's podcast, it's like when I saw him that morning, I was all embarrassed and I was hiding behind my hood. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember being anything awkward about the situation at all. Byron never said anything it all about it. I didn't even think Byron was going to be able to get in there. I didn't think anyone was going to get in there. So if there was an issue with that, I really wish that Byron would have said something to me that morning and say, hey dude, you know, I got an aluminum boat. I'd appreciate it if you guys wouldn't go in there. We wouldn't have went in there. I didn't think that it was any problem whatsoever, especially since this was an entire lake. And we hadn't caught, you got to remember, none of us had caught anything. This was the last day of the tournament. Byron hadn't caught a fish the whole tournament. I don't think I'd caught a fish the whole tournament. Roland hadn't caught a fish the whole tournament. So it's the last day of the tournament. So both of us go in this particular lake. And as it turns out, we get in there and the lake sucked. It wasn't any good at all. Roland caught one little 12-incher and I didn't catch anything. And Byron wound up catching 2 nice fish and made a check in the tournament. And this is what really sort of like puzzled me about this, him coming across like I was some hole jumpers, because he never even said anything about it to me before or after the tournament. And all the years that we've known each other, he never said anything about it. So it didn't even cross my mind that he would be upset about it, that like I was trying to do something, come in on his water, because like I said, nobody had even fished this water in the tournament. And it was in a lake. It wasn't like one spot. It wasn't like I saw Byron fishing on a spot and I'm going to go over and hole jump a spot. This was an entire lake with, you know, I don't remember how big it was. It was, God, it was hundreds of acres. It wasn't giant, but it was big enough to hold a lot of boats. It wasn't like anyone is going to go. I didn't even know where he's fishing at in there. So anyway, it really sort of hurt my feelings a little bit when it came across like that, guys, because I have never ever in my career been accused of hole jumping. I do not do that. I don't jump people's spots. I never have, never been accused of it. And it came across in Mercer's podcast like I was just some sleazy hole jumper. And in essence, looking back after racking my memory after it's been 35 years, if anything else, it was just a matter of miscommunication. It's like, if I had it to do over again and I would have known Byron had the boat and I'd known he didn't want us in there, I wouldn't have been in there at all. As best that I can remember, it's like I didn't think he was able to get in there. Roland had a way for us to get in there, and it's like, why not try to get in there if nobody else is going to get in there? So anyway, I apologize to Byron if I did something that I shouldn't have done. That wasn't my intention at all. Like I said, I guess I should have, you know, clarified or to have been more communicative, but like I said, I just wanted to get that out there because I've had a lot of people comment that I'm some freaking, you know, shady hole jumper, and I just wanted to clarify my side of the story. But I'd be curious to know what you guys, I just described the situation from my standpoint. What would you guys have done? I mean, like I said, I didn't want to try to infringe on any fish that he could catch or was catching, and you know, I don't, just one of those deals, one of those miscommunications that came about in tournament fishing. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to clarify that. And again, like I said, I can barely remember any of the events. 35 years ago, I was in my 20s. I can barely remember half the stuff that went on that day, but just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know that. So hope you guys are well. Talk later.